What's up, all you villains? Welcome back to part 18 of our Pokemon Team Rocket Edition walkthrough. In the previous video, we battled all of the gym leaders and collected all 8 gym badges, which was incredible. Such a fun episode. If you haven't watched part 17, go back and give it a watch. So many battles. And in today's video, we're going to try and make our way to the Pokemon League. We got to make our way through Victory Road. And here at the entrance, before we enter, we have encountered Trainer Blue. So I'm guessing he wants to battle and test out his Pokemon. So let's see what Blue's got. Let's get battling. His first Pokemon he sends out is Pidgeot, which is level 53. The Pokemon in front of my team is Ninetales, which is currently at level 56. I did do a ton of training off camera, so my Pokemon have leveled up quite a bit since the last video. And I will again probably do a lot of training at the end of this video before we take on the Pokemon League. Now that we got Pidgeot out the way, Trainer Blue is going to swap in Blastoise. So I'm going to swap in my Dragonite, as it does know an electric attack. It has Thunder, which will be super effective. And Blastoise is currently at level 55, so a little bit stronger. And our Thunder does a bit of damage, takes away about half of Blastoise's HP. And we hit it again, we just can't knock it out. But we do a ton of damage. Blastoise takes out our Dragonite. Unfortunately, my Dragonite is level 58, so I'm really surprised that Blastoise defeated it so easily. Okay, we're going to send in Ninetales again. I'm hoping Ninetales can attack first. It does have super high speed. And yes, we knock out Blastoise with Hex. And the next Pokemon Trainer Blue is going to send out is Rhydon. So we need a water type or water type attack. So I'm going to send out my Blastoise now. And if we can attack first, we should be able to one-shot it or do some heavy damage. And yes, we one-shot it with Surf. So this game, type advantages is crucial. You've got to know all your type advantages. And the next Pokemon Trainer Blue sends out is a level 54 Arcanine, one of my favorite fire type Pokemon. And surprisingly, it knocks out my Blastoise. Arcanine's speed must be really high, and it attacks first. But now we're going to test out our Rhydon. It is the latest Pokemon we added to our team. Ground type attacks are normally really effective against fire types, but my Rhydon hasn't got a lot of battle experience yet. Rhydon hangs in there and knocks out Arcanine. That's great news. Finally, our Rhydon is beginning to get strong enough. And the next Pokemon Trainer Blue is going to send out is Executor, which is level 54. Again, really cool grass and psychic type Pokemon. And a super underrated Pokemon, I feel. I'm going to send my Ninetales out again, as its fire attacks should be really effective. And yes, after 2 fire attacks, we knock out Executor. And it's down to Trainer Blue's last Pokemon, which is Alakazam, and it's level 54. Alakazam is known for having a super high special attack, so we've got to try and attack it first, otherwise we might get one-shotted. And next out, I'm sending out my Aerodactyl just so I can revive my Ninetales again. Ninetales has the highest speed in my team, so he's the best chance of attacking first. If we don't attack first, we might all just get one-shotted. So my strategy is attack with Ninetales. If I get knocked out, try and revive him again and attack first, and then we should have Alakazam out the way. But now I'm going to send up my Alakazam. I'm not sure if we all attack first. We're slightly higher level. And yes, we knock out their Alakazam. We're 1 level higher. We used Psychic. And that's Trainer Blue out the way. It was a super awesome battle. Our Pokemon did have a bit of an advantage when it comes to levels. but my Aerodactyl still needs to be leveled up a ton. I'm still not sure if I'm going to keep Aerodactyl in my team. Currently it's just an HM slave. I use it for fly. But we'll see. I do have other Pokemon that I might swap in. I'm thinking of maybe using an electric type or maybe another dragon type. So let me know in the comments below. Do you think I should swap out Aerodactyl? And which Pokemon should I replace him with? Should I add any other Pokemon to my team? I do really like dragon type Pokemon. And I want to use a Pokemon that I haven't really used before in many games. So I was actually thinking of either using a Horsey and evolving it into a Kingdra, or maybe an electric type, maybe Magnemite, Magneton. I'm not sure if you can get Magnezone in this game, but that would be an awesome addition as well, an electric type. But I'm very curious to hear what you guys think. How can I improve my team? And on your way through Victory Road, you've got to battle every single officer that checks your bag. And they're quite tough. They're not easy. Most of them have full teams or a lot of Pokemon in their teams. So it isn't an easy journey at all, but it is a great way to earn some experience and level up some of your weaker Pokemon at this point, because you are battling so many Pokemon and all of them have quite high levels. So it's a really cool little path to Victory Road. And there we found a full restore in one of the rocks. And we've nearly come to the edge of Victory Road path. I think that was the last officer that we had to battle. Okay, sorry, there's one more. He's checking the Earth badge, so that's the final one. And we've defeated all of them, and we've come across Andra, our rival and partner in crime. And I think she also wants to test out her Pokemon before we reach the Pokemon League. I'm curious to see how Andra's Pokemon have leveled up and if she's got any new additions. And she looks really cool now that she's been promoted like I have. And the first Pokemon she sends out is a level 55 Electivire, which is probably my favorite electric type of all time. And I'm still going with Ninetales up front. I did have to heal my Pokemon before battling Andra, but I did have some damage from previous battles. So we are going into this one at a bit of a disadvantage, but we'll see how we do. Okay, I swapped in Rhydon because his ground type attacks will be super effective. And we knocked out Electivire, so that's good. I'm so happy with our Rhydon's progress. And I'm hoping we can evolve Rhydon before we enter the Pokemon League. Rhyperior is one of my favorite new evolutions that have been added later on. So I'm not sure if we can get Rhyperior, but I'm definitely going to try, so stay tuned. Maybe we'll evolve him in this episode or perhaps the next. And the next Pokemon Andra sent out is a level 55 Tentacruel, which is a water type, and I believe it's got a couple poison attacks, so it might be water and poison. But I've sent out Dragonite, which is now level 59, and it has the attack Thunder. So for any water type Pokemon that we go against, Dragonite's going to be our Pokemon of choice. We knock out Tentacruel. We're doing pretty well at the moment. Andra only has a couple Pokemon left. The next Pokemon she's sending out is Sneasel, which is an ice type, maybe ice and dark type. But she's only got 4 Pokemon left. So we're going to try hit it with a few dragon attacks. Sneasel's attack was not very effective on us, but we do one-shot it. Our dragon type attack was super effective. And now Andra's going to send out Heracross, which is one of my favorite bug-type Pokemon. Heracross, Pinsir, and there is a newer one. Oh, Golisopod. Those are probably my favorite bug types, along with Scyther, of course. And now Andra is sending out her starter Pokemon. We all started with Zubats at the beginning of the game, and she has trained her Zubat all the way into a Crobat. And it can be a super strong Pokemon. It's got some annoying attacks. And as you can see, it knocked out my Dragonite. So definitely don't think that Crobat is a weak Pokemon. It's very underrated, but it's strong in battle. But my Aerodactyl finishes it off and luckily gets a whole bunch of experience. My Aerodactyl levels up, and as you can see, it did level up quite a bit through Victory Road and battling all the officers. I did give my experience share to Aerodactyl, so it's leveled up about 10 levels with all of this training, which is great. And Andra's final Pokemon is Ursaring, level 55. I wonder if she will be able to evolve it into Ursaluna. I know there is a new evolution they added on, and also Blood Moon Ursaluna, which is one of my favorites from the recent gen. And our Aerodactyl finishes off Andra. So we defeat Blue, we defeat Andra, and we battled every single officer. And now it looks like we have reached the cave, Victory Road Cave. And this cave is known for having some awesome and strong Pokemon to catch. So you might want to spend a bit of time in here trying to catch wild Pokemon. And there's definitely going to be a couple trainers in here to battle and gain more experience. But now, before we enter the cave, Giovanni gives us a call. And our boss says that he wants to see us now that we have been promoted to a higher ranking in the Rocket organization. He says we have unlocked a new room in the Rocket HQ. So we're going to make our way back to the Rocket headquarters, chat with boss Giovanni, and try see this new room that we have unlocked. Apparently it is a trainment room, so maybe we'll be able to do some kind of training there. Leveling up later on in the game has been super tough. You don't get much experience from battling wild Pokemon, and once you've battled all the trainers, it can be really tough to level up your Pokemon. I have had to use some rare candies to help in some situations, but yeah, it's been really tough to level up new Pokemon. If I wanted to train up a whole new Pokemon from a very low level, once you reach level 30, 40, it can be a slow grind. So let's see, we've unlocked this new room that we couldn't enter before, and it looks like here you can do EV training. So you can battle all of these guys for 2,000 Poke, and each one will increase a specific EV stat. So if you want to increase your HP, attack, special attack, defense, special defense, you can choose who you want to battle against, and you'll get stronger in those stats. However, I don't think it's effective yet in the English version. Perhaps in the next update it will be put into effect, but it is still a great way to train up your Pokemon, and a way easier. There is also the trainer right in the front who increases experience. So that's the guy you want to battle, and that will help you level up. And here there's a whole bunch of new items that you can buy. I recommend you go through them, and some stones that can help your Pokemon evolve. So we're definitely going to buy a couple link stones as well as all the other stones, and there's some awesome TMs. So I'm going to spend a bit of time training there and leveling up our Pokemon. That is going to help us level up our Pokemon a whole bunch. And like I said, I do want to try catch a Horsey and train it up and hopefully evolve it into a Kingdra. So now we're going to take the time to do a little side quest or two again before we take on the Pokemon League. I do want to try level up my Pokemon and complete as much of the side missions as we can. Here we just picked up Iron Tail, which is a pretty useful TM. And there was a trainer in this cave who would only battle us if we had all 8 gym badges. So it's this guy with the yellow cap. And now that we've got all the gym badges, we're going to come and chat to him and see if he actually wants to battle. I think if we defeat him, he will give us Rock Slide. So any experience will be helpful. And the first Pokemon he sent out is a level 49 Graveler. So we have quite a big level advantage. We're going to try Confuse Graveler and then maybe swap out our Pokemon. My Ninetales is at a heavy disadvantage. And let's bring out Blastoise, as water attack should be super helpful in this battle. If we can defeat this trainer, get a whole bunch more experience and a new TM, it can only help us in our preparation for the Pokemon League. And I have spoken to a few friends, a few people have contacted me and said for the Pokemon League it's super tough, and they recommend that most of your team be at least level 65 or higher. So we've got a whole bunch of work to do. That is quite a high level. A lot of my team are not near there. We've still got about 10 levels to improve on. So that's what I want to do. I think off camera after this video, I'm going to train up my Pokemon at the new Team Rocket headquarters and try level up my team, all of them to level 65. I might add a new Pokemon or two to the team and train them up. So it is going to take a while to get our whole team to level 65. But then I think we're going to be ready for the Pokemon League and we'll be able to take on all the tough Elite Four members. Okay, we defeat the trainer and he gives us Stone Edge. Sorry, so I thought we were going to get a different attack, but we got Stone Edge, which is super awesome. And he recommends that you teach it to Rhydon, Golem, Aerodactyl, or any of the strong ground type Pokemon. Okay, at least we got him out the way, and now there is another little side quest battle that I want to take on back in Cinnabar Island. So here we're going to enter the little science lab, and I want to come and talk to this trainer, this scientist here, sorry. And when you come and chat to him, he says he'll help with our training for the Elite Four and he'll give us something useful. And he says if we can beat him, we might be ready for the Elite Four. So the scientist sends out a Mr. Mime, which is a super interesting Pokemon, a psychic type Pokemon. And it was one of the stars of the anime for one of the seasons. I remember he used to feature a lot, especially with, I think, Nurse Joy or Officer Jenny. But we defeat Mr. Mime. And as you can see, some of my Pokemon are getting close to level 60. So we're slowly getting there. The next Pokemon they send out is a level 51 Omastar, which is a fossil Pokemon, but my Alakazam one-shots it. And the next Pokemon is Electabuzz. So we're going to swap in Rhydon. It's going to have effective ground attacks. And Electabuzz is level 50. Our Rhydon survives the first attack and we hit it with Earthquake, and that's Electabuzz gone. So I'm really impressed with Rhydon so far. We did hear earlier on that it might be considered a pseudo-legendary in this game even. A lot of the Rocket members were saying Rhydon is a pseudo-legendary, and Lance was saying how Dragonite is the strongest pseudo-legendary. So I'm not sure what the correct pseudo-legendary is, but I've got them both on my team. So we've covered both bases. And the next Pokemon they send out is Jinx, which has always been a weird one. Our Dragonite knocks it out. Jinx is out the way. And now they're sending out Clefable, which is known for healing attacks. So hopefully we can get Clefable out the way before it starts healing a whole bunch. And it knocks out our Dragonite with Moon Blast. We've still got a whole team. We've got 4 Pokemon left. And we're going to give Aerodactyl a go. Aerodactyl's at level 47 and finally starting to get a little bit stronger. Aerodactyl knocks out the Clefable. And the last Pokemon the scientist sends out is Slowbro level 50. So hopefully our Alakazam can knock it out with its psychic attack. Slowbro is water and psychic type, so it's hanging in there. But our Alakazam finishes off the job, and that's the scientist. The super nerd is being defeated. We got a bit of money, we got some awesome experience that's going to help our team a whole bunch, and we received the Assault Vest, which increases special defense by 50% in battle. So that might be super useful for us, especially for our Rhydon, who's got a weakness against special attacks. But now we're going to do a whole bunch of training and get ready for the Elite Four. Thanks for watching.